Alright everyone, here we are for Macbeth Act 2, our plot review. We want to start out by being very aware of the elements that happen in this act because a lot of them set the stage for what's going to happen later in Acts 3, 4, and 5. So you need to make sure that you have everything straight in your head about what happens here. So use this to review for both our test and your later readings. In Act 2, Scene 1, Macbeth meets Banquo and Fleance. Remember, Fleance is Banquo's son. That's going to be very important later on. He meets them on their way to bed, and Banquo says that he's been having nightmare about the witches and he can't sleep. Macbeth denies that he's having the same dreams, probably to relieve himself of any suspicious thoughts on Banquo's behalf, because if he says that he's been thinking about the witches, then perhaps the murder that is about to happen might be connected to him later. After this, we have the famous dagger soliloquy in which Macbeth imagines that he sees a blood-covered dagger before him, and then he leaves to commit the murder. Now, between scenes 1 and 2, remember, the murder of Duncan does happen. It's off stage, and I want you to think about the discussion that we had in class about why Shakespeare would have made the choice to have the murder committed off stage. In Act 2, Scene 2, Lady Macbeth has drugged Duncan's guards, but is unable to murder Duncan because he resembles her father. This gives us a new insight into her character, what she thinks about the murder, and who she really is, despite all of her bragging talk about how she is more of a man than Macbeth himself. Macbeth murders Duncan off stage and re-enters deeply troubled and dazed, and then of course Lady Macbeth scolds him and places the bloody daggers beside the guards, whom she smears with blood. Remember, she says that all they have to do to forget about this is to wash their hands clean. We know that that's not actually how it's going to go, but at least now that's what Lady Macbeth thinks is going to happen. In Act 2, Scene 3, Shakespeare provides us with a little comedic relief in the image of a drunken porter who responds to Macduff's and Lennox knocking at the gate. Lennox says that the weather was strange last night and that Macduff discovers Duncan's body. Macbeth murders Duncan's guards in what he says is a fit of rage, and Lady Macbeth faints. Duncan's sons Malcolm and Donalbain flee the country, fearing for their lives. And of course, Macbeth will use this to pin the murder on Malcolm and Donalbain. He says that the fact that they left Scotland is evidence of their guilt. And in the last scene of the Act 2, Scene 4, Ross and an old man speak of wild and unnatural events that were observed during the night and day following Duncan's murder. This goes along with the theme of natural events that coincide with unnatural events. So Macbeth's murder of Duncan is an unnatural event, and the weather reflects that. It's very strange and wild, and daylight has turned to darkness. Macduff reveals that Duncan's sons are suspected of murdering their father and that Macbeth has been installed as king, but Macduff will not attend Macbeth's coronation because he has doubts about the new king's reign. So as we end Act 2, we have Macbeth, who is the new king. Duncan is dead, Malcolm and Donalbain have fled, and Macduff is not convinced that Macbeth was being completely honest in what he says about the murder of Duncan. He of course says that he played no part in it. All he did was murder the guards in a fit of rage that his beloved king has been killed. So prepare yourselves for Act 3. This is where things are going to get really tricky for Macbeth as he falls deeper and deeper into this hole that he has dug for himself. So stay tuned.